Hi there! It's the start of a brand new month. Actually, it's the 2nd of August today, not the 1st, but let's not get too hung up on that. Trying something a little bit different today, I thought I'd take a look through the top posts of the month from the Formula Dank subreddit, which is, as you may know, the best source of news on the internet for anything relating to Formula 1. I was going to do this in the main F1 subreddit, but I realised it would literally just be a bunch of news stories, graphics, highlights from the official F1 accounts, and I feel like Formula Dank is a more eclectic way to sum up what was a serious month of news in the Formula 1 space. I will probably have seen a few of these floating around the internet, but this will be more of a deep dive. I don't know how many we're going to look at. I've scrolled fairly far down, and we'll go from, I don't know, it's probably around 50 or so. But without further ado, let's take a look. Okay. Max to Mercedes, George to Red Bull, Bottas and Perez to Cadillac, Vasseur to be fired, Horner to Ferrari. I don't need sleep, I need answers. Shout out to the Big Bang Theory, didn't realise that show was still relevant. And this is going to be a bit of a time capsule, really. I'm sure this will be an emerging trend for this video, but yeah, none of those things. Maybe one of those things will happen. We know now that Vasseur has been re-signed by Ferrari, so he's not going anywhere. And it seems like we just had the media day in Hungary, and Max basically said, "Yeah, I'm, making plans with Red Bull for next year," sort of confirming he's staying. So I guess that him to Mercedes isn't happening. George to Red Bull's not happening. Horner to Ferrari is. No, there's no room for him there. I don't think Ferrari would take Horner anyway. The only one that might have some truth behind it is Bottas and Perez to Cadillac. So, yeah, that could happen. But as of right now, we're not sure. What's next? How Toto will welcome Max on the island. Will you sign the contract? Very good. Is this Love Island, or is this just a random proposal photo that someone's put online? I don't know. A little bit out of date now. Days since last seen, 793. I mean, there's no point of the wet tyre because the current gen of cars just put too much spray up in the air and they can't race on them. The cars could handle the amount of water, they can't handle the amount of spray. I honestly don't know the next time we're actually going to see wet tyre running. So it's just sad. This meme would be funnier if it wasn't so sad, because you think, oh, weather forecast, it's wet. Oh my God, we're at Spa. Those two things should knit together to be unbelievable. Actually, it was because we just sat in the pits for an hour and a half until the rain all went away. Becomes Red Bull Racing CEO, both cars qualifying in Q3. Has anyone ever looked than Laurent Mekies in his Toro Rosso days? The goatee, the rimless glasses, the piercing stare, the sort of hipster hair. I mean, he's a complete package. Mekies turns up, Yuki gets the floor that he's not had for ages, and all of a sudden he's barely a shade off Max. Didn't do so well in the race because of strategy, but so far Mekies has been a good luck omen, and they also won the sprint. So his second day at a Formula 1 weekend in charge of Red Bull, he wins something. He did it again. F your championship. McLaren have done this thing where they split the strategy, which is something they can do, and it wasn't like it was a call from the Andrea Stella, team principal. It was Lando's race engineer, Will Joseph, who said, "Quickly, do you think we should use the hard tyre? We'll go to the end." And Lando's like, yes. Oscar's engineer didn't mention the hard tyre. They just stuck to the sort of traditional plan, which was to run the medium. And as it happened, the medium didn't really degrade. I don't think this was a killing blow in the championship, I'll say. I like Piastri, but that was really stupid. I have never seen this meme format. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my actions. I can't tell what that is. Is that like a seagull or a hedgehog or something? I'm not sure. I guess this is in relation to Oscar being pissed off about the penalty in Silverstone and then basically begging the team to switch him and Lando, which, yeah, felt a little bit of a weird call from Oscar. He's not usually the sort of person to, come up with something emotional like that. So he's usually a lot more collected, but he felt robbed of a win. And the data, if you watch Jolyon Palmer's analysis, you'll see the data does support the idea that actually Oscar didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything out of the ordinary that would have got him a penalty in other circumstances. So feel bad for him, but yeah, could have been a bit more measured on the radio. Lewis, who never finished lower than P4 in Spa, Ferrari. I mean, yeah. This stat was going around that Lewis has never finished lower than P4 in Spa, which is true, although it doesn't include DNFs. So it's kind of cherry picked. But yes, on the road, he's never finished lower than 4th until this weekend, where he just, had that awful spin in qualifying and then just made good progress in the race. Actually, a pretty fantastic comeback. Shouldn't really have been there in the first place. There we go. The absolute go. I know this is going to probably dominate, well, this and one other story, I wonder if you can guess what that is, will dominate the subreddit for this month. It's just a very crudely cut out Nico Hülkenberg head on Giga Chad. Enough said, really. This sprint was Yes, it really was. People are bandying around the idea that it was the worst sprint since the very first sprint at Silverstone 2021. We had Max taking the lead on that one and nothing else. The British GP was better than F1 movie. Well, yeah, you had a parallel with, an older driver achieving something nobody thought they would. I watched the F1 movie a few weeks ago. Pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. But yeah, British Grand Prix was like unscriptable. So yeah, I would choose to watch the British Grand Prix again. Posting this before the end, surely not going to jinx it. It's the P3 going nuts on the podium meme. I mean, yeah. Again, don't have much to add. This is just accurate, and Nico wasn't, giving it the middle fingers or anything, but yeah, he richly deserved to celebrate as ferociously as this guy here. So I'm glad he had his day in the sun. So Ferrari, huh? No, I'm sure it will go great. Oh dear, I miss Seb, and I miss Lewis being on the podium. Seb knows the toll that team takes on a man. Max, there is a chance I might not wake up tomorrow, so I can't drive either. Be honest. I will be staying at Red Bull Racing for 2026. Be honest, I couldn't activate my exit clause. There is a part of me that does believe Max would have left Red Bull if the exit clause could have been activated, which needed to be if he was in the if he was outside the top 3 in the championship. After finishing 4th in Belgium, he can no longer be caught for 3rd. So in Hungary, he can't lose 3rd in the championship. He can't activate his release clause, and Mercedes is not going to buy his contract out because that's going to cost hundreds of millions. So why would anyone bother with that? I'm reading this in George's Sardinia, crikey. I can't do George's voice. I'm a big fan of the tag, oh no you yabba dabba didn't. This again is the Max to Mercedes stuff. Doesn't seem like it's happening, but for a while it seemed like Max and Toto's jets and then yachts were basically parked next to each other. All signs pointed to something being up, but they seem to have maybe they just holidayed together. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. I liked this one. I think this is a GQ segment where you've got the Williams, Haas and Racing Bulls guys all answering fairly technical questions. Most of the younger drivers are just sort of pissing about, but you've actually got Ocon the Oracle in the background, just sort of giving really quite thoughtful answers, which I really like. I feel like that's very Esteban coded, but the best bit being Carlos saying he doesn't train his neck, and the disgust on Isaac Hadjar's face. He's like,
Bro, what? I break my neck every week in the gym for this and you don't train it? Fantastic. He's highly, for a rookie, Isaac is highly memeable. Ferrari has the chance to do the funniest thing. Please God, let this happen. It would be so funny. That looks like Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents. Okay. I didn't know that was a reaction meme. Imagine showing someone this at the end of 2021 and letting that percolate. They would think they'd think you're insane. I need new haters. The old ones are becoming my fans. I'm part of this crew. I used to not be super hot on Max Verstappen, particularly back in 2021. I just took issue with the fact that he basically, his style at the time was drive straight through, like, straight line a corner. If you don't back out of that, that's your problem, not mine. Let me through or we're gonna crash. Something he does have shades of still, but the man he is, I admire greatly. He's actually extremely funny, and you know, quite a sweet person as well, really. He obviously has that dog in him, as we saw in Spain, where he crashed into George Russell deliberately. And that is, you know, that's not okay, but as a whole, I think he does more good than bad. After losing Max, Horner has the chance to do the funniest thing. Just steal the Williams lineup. I mean, they've been doing well. I was going to say they've been doing bits. Half of them has. Carlos Sainz, not so much this year. The Toro Rosso rejects who never got promoted. Retirement plans. Yeah. I mean, Max has said many times he's not going to do this forever, and he feels like he's more than halfway through his career, so you know, take up the Danny Rick route and go live on a farm. Well, my phone ran out of storage and I had to stop, so I went to the gym. But I'm back now, so looks like Verstappen's the one that caused Hamilton to spin out. This meme of Max kicking stuff has had the most incredible shelf life. Whoever originally rotoscoped and cut that out, I hope you're eating well. I hope somehow that has paid some of your bills. I doubt it, because people just steal everything on the internet, but good job. Every F1 fan right now, he must be thinking about other women. Was Horner fired to keep Max at Red Bull, or was he fired because he lost Verstappen to Merc? I guess it was the first one. Who knows? The George Russell Woody thing jump scares me every single time because of how like vivid the eyes are. Although this is the antithesis of how it's normally used, which is like does nothing P3. This is two purple sectors P5. So I think that was his quali lap in Spa. Yeah, didn't quite work out for him there. Verstappen holding back, Leclerc holding back Verstappen from the two McLarens. I mean, is this accurate? No one could really do anything in Spa, overtaking wise, but I guess it works. If Max, Oscar, Lewis, or Charles wins at Silverstone, go crazy. If Lando wins, I mean, this kind of did happen, but not because of any other reason other than Hülkenberg got on the podium. So Lando winning somehow became a footnote. Rory Seek is another one with some insane shelf life. I'm not surprised to see it on Formula Dank. Still to this day, there are a few staples on there, a few crutch memes that will probably never die. It was weird having a 3-week break in the middle of the season, and then we had Belgium, and now we've got Hungary this weekend, and then another 4-week break. So like 7 weeks off. 100% win rate, bitches. Yeah, Mekis came in and they won the sprint on Saturday, so a good start. But obviously the main race didn't go their way, and let's see how this weekend goes. Me at my sister's wedding, me on Red Bull's downfall. What? Me during? At Red Bull's downfall? I don't know. But yeah, valid, fair enough. Always nice to see some Seb, even if it isn't a meme. Who edited this? This is quite good. Bro got 44th pole in 44's backyard. I can't tell whether the original image is Max or Lewis, but obviously something's been spliced together quite well. I think Lewis is driving. I don't think Lewis is in Parc Ferme. So I assume they've slid Lewis's car under as like a PNG or something. That's really good. And yeah, Max's 44th pole in Silverstone. This is just a timing tower. But I guess this was the first one to gain traction on the subreddit, so that made it into the list. Lando, I'm sure Oscar made a couple of mistakes. Narrator, Oscar did not, in fact, make any mistakes. Yeah, that was Spa in a nutshell, wasn't it? Lando just made a few micro, unforced errors that really cost him. The deploying too early on the restart, and then little shimmy at turn 1 while he was chasing Oscar down at the end. I don't think it would have made much difference in the end, just because he was on the inferior tyre. But yeah, a couple of little mistakes there. Albon has competition in aura farming. Ugh, 2 wheels? What a disgusting display. No, I'm joking. MotoGP is great. Marquez did the Indian boat race. I did not know that. He did a redux version of it. He probably would have fallen off his bike if he did the whole thing. So maybe for the best he didn't. This is Nico Rosberg. Now you're quiet. I mean, yeah, the man was on a mission on the grid in Belgium to just... I don't know if he had a mission statement, whether he was like, I'm going to press people here, or if that's just his modus operandi. I don't watch the broadcast on Sky. I watch it on F1 TV, so I don't have Sky. So I never see this stuff on TV. I have seen it since, and honestly, it's really good journalism. Rosberg was a really good F1 driver, but I think probably a better pundit and journalist. He's asking questions people really don't want to answer, not giving them anywhere to hide, and he's a Formula 1 world champion, so as far as I'm concerned, keep it up. You can do whatever you want. I don't think this will ever not make me laugh. Christian Horner via Snapchat. I'm not going to comment on that one. It's just... I always enjoy when people take images out of context and put them as if someone's sending it on Snapchat. The All Quiet on the Western Front. Yeah. Me who witnessed 2021. Fans ready for a wet race at Spa. I assume this was posted before... I think this was posted before the race happened. So ended up being not too far off. I mean, we didn't waste 5 hours this time, but we basically got a neutered Formula 1 race because we sat out most of the rain. I never actually experienced the terror. I never actually experienced the mediocrity of Spa 2021. I've covered basically every F1 race since 2018, apart from like 1 or 2 odd ones. I was actually covering the Paralympics that weekend, so I didn't cover Spa 21. So I haven't suffered with all of you. So apologies if I'm not empathetic enough. 20 years of Horn Dog. Tell Horner I want him to know it was me. I mean, was it Max? I feel like it was pressure from above, from the 2 arms of the company that own, the Thai side and the Austrian side. But I fully rate the Olenna Tyrell throwback. Shout out to Game of Thrones. Ah, man, this is just sad. How it should have been. Yes, we should have had a parade from all the drivers, and a lot of teams and drivers made a big fuss over Nico. I'm glad they did. But on the actual podium itself, we had Lando, somewhat understandably, soaking up his first home win, and complete frostiness from Oscar. He didn't get showered much by his contemporaries on there, and he didn't get a proper trophy, although the Lego trophy is very cool. So 2 things that maybe don't make it a traditional podium, but still something very much to celebrate. New regulations in 2026. Your car will be designed by Adrian Newey. The boss has invested millions in a new factory. Today you're turning 44, the age when Fangio got his 3rd title. Hey, look, it all fits. if we're in for... And they've got Honda engines, which have won the last 4 Drivers' World Championships. Could you imagine that? 20 years after his last title. Could you imagine? Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but next year it will have been 2 decades. That's 1 Christian Horner's worth of tenure at Red Bull since his last title. There are some great ingredients in there, honestly, for Alonso. So, yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Office meme, pretty low-hanging fruit, I would say, but obviously this was posted during the race. I've never been this tense in an F1 race. Hulk P3 is happening. I guess, I mean, during the race, the emotions I was having, I was covering the race, but the emotions I was having were like, is this actually going to happen? Because, you know, Hamilton looked like he might be bearing down on him. Another Hulk meme here. How did you get your first F1 podium? Drove a Sauber tractor from P19 in a wet Silverstone race. What a legend. I like to imagine the girl on his lap is his daughter, and the boy at the bottom could be his unborn son. He's only got 1 child, but yeah, maybe he'll have another one day. More Hulkenberg. What is this place? Love it. He's never been in the cool-down room before, and he showed that by forgetting to bring his helmet. Will to Live has left the chat. Yeah, look at this man. Look at the face on this man. He is so done with all the questions. Max is someone who relishes driving. He just loves driving. That's why he spends most of his race weekends on iRacing or something, or on the sim rig, because he just wants to drive. That's all he wants in the world. And to have this constant barrage of like, oh, are you going to Mercedes? Oh, well, what about you and Toto? What about the car? Like, you can so clearly see how much he hates all the media stuff and repeated questions. He's even said that recently. So I sympathise, and that's kind of your example there of the F1 circus being itself, being the circus. Oh man, this, and talking of memes with longevity, we've got the Oscar tweet. I understand that without my agreement, Medium Tyres have put out a press release late this afternoon that they will degrade during this race. This is wrong, and I have not signed an agreement allowing tyres to degrade. I will not have degraded tyres this race. I love how most of these statements don't really fit the syntax of the tweet, but they've just been shoehorned in anyway, and honestly, it's all the better for it. And yeah, Oscar's medium tyres, even though they were a couple of steps apart from Lando's hards, they just kept their pace, didn't they? And a relatively cushy run to the flag. Hamilton could leave Ferrari and do the funniest thing ever. Could you imagine Max and Lewis as teammates? After all they've been through and just the amount of power they would have. Terrifying stuff. Nico Hulkenberg has more podium, singular? I mean, I guess he has 1. He has more podium than Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher this season. Yeah, I mean, no notes, it's true. This is kind of posted with no context, and I don't even know where this original image comes from, but I think that was reacting to Max's pole in Silverstone, which... How is he still getting poles in this Red Bull, man? The guy is just he's just a goblin. He's not human. Max when Lewis is fast. Whomst has awakened the ancient one. Yeah, it looked like Lewis might be in with a sniff of pole or the front row, but yeah, Max kind of dashed those hopes. So never mind. Oh, here's 2 presidents in the limelight when they shouldn't be. Donald Trump is one of them, invading the Chelsea Club World Cup photo, and then MBS, who sometimes lingers in the back of the TV shot sometimes, and people have called that out. So I guess there's a parallel there. This race is not happening. It definitely felt that way for a bit, didn't it? That we were going to get another 2021. In the end, as I've said, we got some semblance of a race, but it was just such an anticlimax compared to what we could have had, which would have been a fun race in the wet. Senna, Schumacher and Hamilton were now entering the Norris era. And this is a hard one. I mean, some race weekends, Oscar is just on another level, and Spa was one of those weekends. Lando was just fundamentally better in Austria. So it's really kind of flip-flopping between the two of them. Yeah, this is some more Rosberg love. Can we spell Zach Brown's name correctly? He's been at that team for so long. It's a K, not a C. The GOAT is back. I always love, yes, a fake F1 braking graphic. This is actually last year's graphic template. So if you want the shit posting to be accurate, you're going to need to update your templates as well. Gunther Steiner replaces Horner as team principal. Did you know they actually did work together at Red Bull in 2005? Steiner was part of Jaguar, and then when they became Red Bull in 2005, he stayed on. I said this earlier, Nico on the podium, Lando's win. I mean, that's the perfect meme for that. Yeah, oh, this one is sad because the hype for, a wet weekend in Spa looked off the charts, and it just didn't happen, did it? Sarah's second plane has arrived at Sardinia. George x George crossover. Wow. I was here for the Hulken podium. I assume this is relating to the flare that everyone got on the subreddit. I lurk on the subreddit, but I'm not on it all the time, so I don't know much about collecting flares. My flare just says Chal le lurk. Yuki Goat Noda does nothing, outlives everyone at Red Bull. He has kind of just sort of been hanging in there. Like, he got promoted because it was about to be Honda's last Red Bull race at Suzuka. Lawson had a bad couple of races, and he's just kind of lingered there since then. Magnussen being Hulkenberg's lucky charm might be the best F1 story arc of all. It is, isn't it? I kept seeing Magnussen with the lime behind him, and I thought, like, why is he in the Sauber garage? He drove for Haas. He never drove for Sauber. Then I realised, yeah, he was there for his old buddy Nico, and the Haasbands seem to be still great friends, which I love. Every masterpiece has its cheap copy. This was, I mean, it's kind of eerily similar. I think this was back in 2020, judging by the masks. I remember it. I remember seeing it. I can't remember where it was. I feel like it was like a Sochi or something. I like to think that Toto Wolff is a bit better of a person than the Astronomer CEO. How many times can we change the image of the subreddit in a single week? Yeah, there we go. More Horner. Open to work on LinkedIn. It must have been quite a week because you had the Hulkenberg podium on the Sunday and the whole race. I mean, the whole British Grand Prix was mental. And then on the random Wednesday afterwards, 3 days into a 3-week hiatus, the Horner news. So this is why I was keen to do this month, because there's just been so much news. Zachariah Brown right now. I wouldn't want to be Christian. I don't know. I don't know what religion that prayer cap is from, but good double entendre there. More Nico love, this time with a bit more context. Yeah, so quizzing. He's just asking good questions and hard questions that people don't want to answer. Honestly, more Nico Rosberg journalism, please. We already had this post. Somebody's done basically the exact same post. This one obviously gained a bit more traction, and the image looks like it's higher res. Trust me, bro, this is our year, squad. Look, as a long-suffering Man United and Ferrari fan, I like my sports teams red and mediocre. Okay, sue me. Yeah, that one rings a little too close to home. God, I never asked you for anything, but please kill Hamilton's engine. Shout out to Spider-Man 3 and Topher Grace. In the end, he didn't need any intervention. Lewis just couldn't catch him. Horner leaves, starts performing. Hey, Big Daddy, I love the tag on that one. Yuki immediately P7 in qualifying, but obviously the race fell apart for him. But if it's a sign of things to come, and that new floor on the car is doing good things for him, then let's hope Yuki scores some good points in the second half of the season. In the race number 242, again, some of these titles are just like, I guess people are excited by their idea and they just bash them out so quick that they don't fully polish them. I like my memes to be quite pristine, but sometimes the lower quality of them does actually make them. We already had one of these, didn't we? Oh, okay, so actually they've They've taken the P3 man and put him first and second as Lando and Oscar, and then Hulk in the green. That's actually really well. That's really well edited. This is what I would consider like a high quality meme. Oscar didn't spray his champagne anywhere near that much, but minor details. I'll never get tired of this for years to come. No, F1 and Interstellar are two of my favourite things in the world, so I like these two together. I would trade all my F1 podiums for an F1 win. It's a pretty good trade offer. I don't know if this is a real quote or not, but even if it's not, I feel like it's quite a good one. Fun fact, every time Nico Hülkenberg has been on the podium, a team principal has been sacked. That's just a truism. That is a fact, my friends. Leaked pictures of Max Verstappen and Toto Wolff boarding Max Verstappen's jet amidst negotiation rumours. I haven't seen all these. I've seen this one of him on the I've not seen that one of them making out, having a pash. I can't look at that for too long. It reminds me of the Seb and Lewis looking like they're about to kiss, and the Lewis and Max one. No, Michael, no. This is so not right. I'm going to Brokeback Mountain. Okay, I'm not going to linger in these comments for too long. I might get demonetized. Finally, a confirmation. The tracking of Max's jet has kind of got out of hand, hasn't it? But it's a good way to go. Here's the video of... Yeah, that was really from McLaren. Come on, guys. Big M, small c, big L, Aaron. Yeah, Nico really didn't get any interaction at all, did he? He's got a little bit from Lando at the end there, but yeah, he deserved better. Lewis, please. Lewis Hamilton, he did nothing. I just want you all to look at him. Lewis says, had me worried for a second. Okay, I have to reveal an uncomfortable truth. Lewis Hamilton did not write that tweet, okay? He has social media managers. All the drivers have social media managers, and I'd be willing to bet most of their posts are not done by the drivers themselves. So, can we all just chill out a bit? He did it, I'm crying. He did do it, but he did do it for Sauber, not Haas. So I don't understand, I don't really get why there's a Haas picture. The point is good, maybe it's for that. Tyres degrading, just say no. Your tyres cannot legally degrade without your consent. And they didn't, did they? Yuki survived Horner. Somebody once told me. Yeah, Yuki's in the swamp. And Horner's been banished. This is Anya Taylor-Joy in Silverstone. I actually don't know what TV show or film that chicken is from. Oh, it looks like it's from Chicken Little. I've never seen it, so I did not see that. Gentlemen, a short view back to the future. I'm going to read this like Walter Costa did. 2026. Max signs to Mercedes. He spends the off-season helping them develop the car. Based on his feedback, the car is a piece of shit only he can drive. Kimi scores no points. McLaren are faster. I honestly don't even care about who won the race. We all won today. Yeah, this is the theme of this month, I suppose. Just everyone celebrating Hülkenberg. Is that Dark Souls, that graphic coming up? How this podium feels. Norris, Hülkenberg, Piastri sulking in the middle. Yeah, little bit. Toto and Max were caught cheating at the Coldplay concert. What I love about this is just how crudely these cutouts have been done and just like stuck on top. Like there's no attempt to, put heads on them or anything like that. And honestly, I would much rather see something like this, which has sort of been done kind of in an obviously clunky way. I would much rather see that than see like some AI slop. Another sacrifice. Come join us, my child. Joining all the drivers that have been culled. You beat Lewis in equal machinery. I beat Lewis in a wheelie bit. We are not the same. Yeah, that Sauber really did look like it was the flop of the crop, so to speak. There's actually developed beautifully over the last 6 or 7 races, and is now capable of scoring points. Zach when Oscar wins, Zach when Lando wins. It can be a little bit like that, although I kind of feel like he's like that matches the energy of drivers. Like Lando's a bit more sort of in your face, emotional. Oscar's very much like I don't like. Zach normally runs up to Lando's like bear hug, you'll break your ribs, that kind of thing. I don't think anyone would do that to Oscar. Why is there orange smoke coming out of the Merc building? What does it mean? So this must have been after the Horner. Yeah, 22 days ago. That was after the Horner ousting. And in a Pope year, I mean that I think the waiting for the Pope smoke is in everyone's minds still. Hulkenberg when 2 weather changes and 3 war crimes has been committed on track. I love this theme of like taking some archive footage of like Senna or Prost or Lauda or someone like really prolific and just saying like Lance Stroll 1 day per year when he feels like it, or Pierre Gasly in his Alpine. And on this case, it's Hulkenberg being like a Senna. Love it. For the next 76 hours, you'll be able to claim a limited edition I Was Here for the Sackening flare. So I guess this is quite self-referential, and the mods must have made it. The mods of this subreddit must have made it. Anyway, those are the top posts on Formula Dank in July 2025. Yes, big month of news. 4 major stories. Spa being wet, Hulkenberg podium, Horner getting sacked, and the will they won't they with Max to Mercedes. We've got Hungary coming up this weekend. This will probably go out after Hungary, honestly. And then we've got the summer break, and then Zandvoort is just at the end of August. So if I do another one of these, probably be on the 1st of September. What was your favourite meme from this selection? I think mine was probably the edited podium. The P3 guy going nuts, except that was Lando and Oscar, and then the P3 guy is just stood there. I thought that was really well made. Good job, Formula Dank. Thank you for bridging the gap between Silverstone and Belgium. Honestly, that was pretty agonising wait for our next race. Let's see if we can get 2 likes on this video, and I'll make another one. Until then, ta-ta and farewell.